Hey guys, welcome back. Richie here from RW Hobbies. Eduard's latest new release. It's the limited edition Tornado IDS in 48 scale. Alright, so here it is, brand new, just released from Eduard, the latest edition of their limited edition Tornadoes. And before we look inside the box on this one, let's have a quick history lesson. So, Eduard Tornadoes are reboxes of Revell, of Germany, which is this guy. This guy's been out, I don't know, at least 10 years, if not longer. So it's basically this kit, but what they do is they add their own little few things. They add some resin seats, some resin wheels, a mast set, and some nice thick decal markings pretty much. Now, price-wise, this one was about $35. This one retail price of $120, but you pick it up for about $96 at most places, $95, $96. So quite a big upsell for not much extra stuff you really get in there. The kit's the same, just those few extra parts, which we'll look at. So this kit right here, which is what it is. And Eduard's done this a few times now. So first of all, this is a full limited edition Tornado set, 48 scale. First one, this guy, the Tornado F3, Goodbye Tornado. Some really nice markings on this one. You can barely see it, but so this is number one. Then came out the very popular Desert Babe, and this also came out in 72nd scale. So this was the second one. And lastly was this guy, the ECR variant, and it's some very nice markings as well. So that one came out number 3. So the fact I have all of them in my stash, I think, well, it's not the best kit to be honest with you, but I've got the other 3. Let's get the 4th one. I'm stuck in it now. I'm stuck in a rut where every limited edition Tornado I seem to be collecting. So along comes this one, which has just got released. Now this is the IDS Fighter Bomber Roll Air Tornado in German Air Force, as it says on the side there. So let's go ahead and take a look inside the box. Now I'm not going to spend too much time on plastic because I've reviewed this kit so many times now on the channel. Like I said, I've showed you all those other boxes. It's going to be the same plastic. We'll take a quick peek at it. It's more about the markings really. So here's the box. You got the instructions. Revell's plastic, which is basically the same as that kit I showed you in the blue box. Some resin, photo-etched, I forgot about that, photo-etched instrument panel, some other photo-etched parts, the canopy mast set, and lots of stencils and lots of decals. So let's put all this to the side and take a look at the instructions as always. Alrighty, so instruction book. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we've gone through this kit so many different times and different versions over the years. So, cockpit tub, seats, resin seats, which is nice, a few holes to drill out. PE, go in the cockpit tub, intakes. Working through here, the wings, and they do have drop flaps on this one. Now, this is my key test on these kits to see how well this is molded, because there's so many kits that have been pumped out from this tooling. It's getting a little bit weary now. Some of the early ones, like the Revell kits, are very crisp. Now they're getting a little bit worn down because there's so many versions that come out of them. So we'll take a look. My thing here, right there, these along here. This is a key. This is where I look for on the kit. If these are nicely molded, it's normally pretty good. If they're really softly molded, then it's not so good. Going through buckets. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time here. All the flaps and slats, and these instructions are a lot nicer than a Revell kit too. So even if you are building a Revell kit, you can always download these from Scalemates or Eduard free of charge instructions and just follow their instructions instead. It's a top tip. Pylons. Going through here again, canopy, and various weapons, a couple of pods, sidewinders, and this is what we're really looking at here, just we'll look at the markings, right? So first up is this little guy, which is just reading right here. Oh god, I don't get a German pronunciation. Egerbeck Airbase, Germany 2002-2004. Quite nice markings there. B. This is kind of classic German markings right here. This is 1986. Nice little snow kind of camo, leopard kind of, snow leopard kind of stuff going on here. This is from 2002-2003. I'm not even going to attempt the pronunciation. Alright, here's a classic scheme, 1993. This guy right here. This one's really nice looking for me. I like the look of this guy in the black. And this is 2001 to 2002. Again, has all the information about that you can read. But with that kind of like the German kind of line, you know, the flag kind of thing across it. Just very nice looking aircraft, I think, that one. And so far, I think E would be my choice of which I'd go for. F, tiger meat markings from 2006-2007. So you see quite a range here. You're looking at 86 to 2006. So 20 years of life here on the aircraft. Another darker one here. This is 1999. So we're up to G. And that is it. So we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 markings. So wait, no, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 markings. I can't count. So 7 markings. Here for the stenciling. And stenciling again. And that is it. So again, you're buying this reef for the markings, but the problem is though, Eduard, the decals haven't been that great last couple of years. They changed them and they're not quite as good as they used to be. They used to be Cartograph and now they're in-house and not as good. So that really takes it away. I mean, you pay all this money for these markings, but you're getting kind of subpar decals. So anyway, so let's go through here. As always, we will start with little stuff. So we've got some photo etch. Getting good. And some other stuff on the back. We got the die cut canopy mask, which is very handy. Seats, 2 resin seats. And resin wheels. So that's all the goodies you're getting. And then you get the basic Revell pack of plastic, which we'll look at last. Let's next up look at decals. We got a really big sheet here. Giant sheet. Alright, so first of all we got a couple of lines here. I'm not really sure, maybe like a supplemental kind of thing. And we have a sheet of stencils, which is massive. And sheet of the squadron markings. So, as I'm looking through here, let's show them a close-up. I'm not bowled away with this again. It's a little, I mean, I feel like a broken record with Eduard, but they used to use Cartograph, beautiful decals. If you look at these, I mean, they're okay, but look, the color is not it's kind of faded. I mean, I guess it could add to weathering, but it's not very kind of bright colors and stuff on here. Like the 2, the blue. And the stripes, again, not very vibrant. They're a little bit dull or washed out. Again, if you're weathering it, it's not going to be such a big deal. But again, you're buying these kits for the markings, really, and it's not kind of what it used to be. Like Eduard, if you're listening, please go back to Cartograph. Their new stuff isn't nowhere near as good. And look at the red here. You can see it's all it's not even solid, it's all kind of like very much faded. So yeah, disappointment, but as expected, unfortunately. That's kind of what we're getting with Eduard these days. So nice markings, just unfortunately they're trying to save a little bit of money, but yeah, the kit, you know, for $120 US, you think, you know, you could spend an extra couple of bucks and get some Cartograph decals. Alright, then the big bag of plastic. This is my, I'm looking at the stash, this is my 10th 48 scale Tornado kit now on my stash, a different variant, types of variant and stuff. Alright, we got there in the end. So yeah, I've seen quite a few of these, so I kind of know what I'm looking for. So let's start with the clear parts first. Kind of taped up pretty well. Jesus, there we go. Actually not bad at all, so pretty good clear parts. Again, all this kind of junk attached to it. And actually, if I take a look, it's actually broken the canopy. I don't know if you can see that. This bit of flash on the side, it's just taking a nick out. Now, that goes against the fuselage, you can probably fill it, wouldn't be a big deal. All this stuff here, way too flashy. I mean, for the pod, I mean, just look, it's covered in flash. You can barely see what's parts and what's not. So that's very flashy. And as expected, you know, these molds are getting a bit long in the tooth, and they keep on pumping out these kits, but the tool isn't there. So hopefully somebody else releases a 48 scale Tornado at some point, you know. So. Alright, clear parts. That we're done. Let's take a look at this guy. Again, tons of flash, and we're talking about, you know, again, $120 kit when you can get a Tsukimura BF109 for $95. So that's absolutely exquisite. Very flashy indeed. You can see even down the sprue tree, just flash. Although, that being said, the service detail is very nice on these aircraft. You know, it's really nicely refined on there. A little softly molded around the pylons. Again, flash. Flash. Again, it's not a major deal, just a sanding stick, you can take care of this. There are a few little problematic parts, we'll see if they are covered in flash, which would be tricky, but these are okay. Horizontal stabilizers, again, beautiful detail. Catch that in the camera. Alright, next up. So we got a match pair here. So we got the fuel tanks. You don't use the wheels because obviously you have resin ones. Sidewinder, very crude. You probably use it no problem at all. But again, you might want aftermarket for your weapons. Yeah, not badly detailed. So we got a couple of pods here. Again, really nicely detailed in terms of surface detail, panel lines. And then we got a couple of match pairs here, and then we got a couple of seats. So you're not going to use these seats because obviously you have them in the kits, right? So you're going to use the resin seats, but if you do want to use these for some reason, you do have them here, that's why you would. Be careful with these guys. These are for the back of the cans, the exhaust nozzles. Alright, next up. Okay, so looking through this one, not too bad this sprue. This is obviously your tail, a little bit of flash here and there, but again, looking pretty good overall. These guys are normally a problem with flash. These actually look pretty good on this kit. The flaps. Just going through this. This is actually a pretty good sprue. Another problem part, normally these guys, that's looking pretty good as well. Again, you can see the idea of a surface detail, just how beautiful it is actually. But it's very modular, so you got to take your time with this, get the intakes lined up and all different parts and stuff. And here's another problem one normally, and this is looking really crisp as well. This is, you know, these little areas here, that's normally a flash city, but that's looking pretty good on this one. And wings, again, you see a beautiful surface detail, and the beauty is you can have the flaps down, which look pretty nice. Cockpit's up, pretty crude, but you sand it off and you have, again, you have the photo etch, speed brakes, a little bit of detail in there. But here's what I always look for in these kits, and this is actually one of the best ones I've seen. And these guys off here, see that along there? That's really crisp, and where it joins, sometimes it's just a big blob of flash all over this, and it's hard to distinguish where it ends, where the sprue runner goes. On this one, it looks pretty decent, actually very nice and very crisp. So this might be the best one I've seen in terms of the wings. A little bit of flash there, but that's nothing at all. But again, these bars, you can actually see, you know, where it ends and where it starts, where it's attached, attachment point. Again, on some of these kits, you just can't tell at all. It's just a big blob of plastic. All kinds of flash over here again, and that pretty much is it. Down and dirty, getting you through it. So it's a typical Revell 48 scale Tornado. $120? No way. First few sprues looked at, very flashy. Again, it's flash, it's not a big deal. You just take your time, sand it down, dry fit, all that kind of stuff. The later sprues, the wings look very crisp. Maybe they've been retooled. Very crisp, very minimal flash. What I will show you is kind of example here. I've just noticed this is the side, and see this flash here? That's, compare it to there. It should be a 90-degree angle. And it's just all this is extra flash stuck to it. So you got to be very careful how you cut that out. So there we go. A little bit underwhelmed, but I know what to expect now with these kits. I'm kind of stuck because I've got the other three in the collection, and being a bit of an OCD collection kind of guy, I'm going to build them all at some point. I kind of want this for my collections. I've got all the other limited edition sets, so that's why I got it. If I wasn't into the Tornado or into, like, you know, have the other ones, I probably wouldn't bother at all. Like I said, you could still pick up the 48 scale Revell kit, which this is, for $35, probably, if not online, eBay for sure, probably $35, maybe $40, and then what you're adding, a couple of resin seats, $10, photo etch, maybe like another $10. So maybe a county mask, so maybe that's $25 value to add to it if you wanted to do that. So you get to about $60, and then aftermarket decals if you can find them, some nicer ones, maybe like another $50. So you're in it like $75. So you're paying extra for this boxing. I don't know. The decals are very disappointing. Again, I bash Eduard every single time for the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it's been. The decals suck. Now you go back to Cartograph for sure, because what they're doing, it just doesn't work at all. And I heard they're really hard to put down as well. You got, like, it's just really convoluted process. So yeah, but kind of faded, not that impressed with them. Typical Revell plastic, although some of these are nicely molded, but again, there's a ton of flash all over it. And yeah, it's just hard for me to see, after seeing some beautiful kits like the Zukimura 109, that kind of some new Hobby Boss stuff, how crisply molded it is, and the same price point as this. And we're just using hashing like 20-year-old kit parts here and throwing in some decals basically. So hopefully they retool it, or somebody retools it. They do build up to a nice kit, beautiful panel lines and stuff, and service detail. Just got to take your time, plenty of dry fitting, and go from there. But that's really it. That's the Tornado IDS from Eduard.